Well, hello everybody. I'm back here with Ahmed's Entertainment, and I promised you a guest. And of course, he is my close friend, my colleague, and he has a program called All Sports with Gerardo. Please follow him on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter. Welcome back, Gerardo Cruz. Gerardo Cruz, thank you for coming by. Your voice is on mute.
I don't know. Okay,
Yeah.
it should work this time. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you
Oh,
right. Yeah.
I can see you. You should be
So
able to.
it's technical issues, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah. Gerardo, thank you for coming back to my show.
Yes, thank you for having me once again. It's been a while.
Exactly. How is life right now? I know you're graduating this year, right?
Yes, it's going to be a few months from now. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And hopefully, when that time comes, there will be an actual graduation ceremony and not a virtual ceremony. I really hope it's the way that it usually is because it's a big moment and it's a one time thing and you just can't celebrate it a second time. It's not the same.
Exactly. Well, I heard there are news that's coming at our campus that they're giving the Mandarin vaccine, which is they sent me an email yesterday, and I said maybe they send you an email. Did you get that email? Yes or no?
No, I didn't, but I've been seeing emails about what they're going to do in the coming weeks. And I also seen, but of course, I'll be done with school by then, that the fall semester is going to be on campus like it usually is.
Exactly. Well, what I'm gonna do next semester, because possibly things might not change, is that I'm gonna take a little bit of general classes, but I'm gonna still continue on doing this podcasting show. You know, especially. But like, I don't know if I heard that if you're gonna get the good news in sports.
Yeah, so we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. I know with the coronavirus pandemic, nothing's guaranteed, but I know as of now, I'm going to at least continue doing what I do for the rest of this year. I don't know what's going to happen in 2022 because I will be done with school for sure. And hopefully by then I have the job I want or getting that internship and then moving into where I want to be. But I just know how 2021 might play out, but I don't know how 2022 and going forward is going to be.
I hope to be the best, exactly. Especially like when I heard like in my uh, kind of way where I'm at, like the community where I'm joining, that the cons are going to open, conventions going to open, the anime conventions, and NDK just announced that on Labor Day they're going to open, and the Colorado Anime Fest that they're going to open next year on April 15th to the 17th, which is going to be tough because April next year, and especially this year, Ramadan comes, and Ramadan is like kind of tough. When you fast, I'm not going to handle myself when I'm walking around with a bunch of kids. You know what I mean? And all dressed up, and you're excited, and it's morning, and then you have to go start eating during midnight, and so on and so forward. And specifically, this is basketball season, right? Correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, basketball season, because there are a lot of people that are different religion that they play basketball, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and some of them they play in different states in different sports. It is so difficult. Do you think that they will, have time to do their thing and then go on and play the sport?
That's what it's looking like. Of course, things are still different, and it's not like 2019 or even the beginning of 2020. But now that we're in March, it's finally March Madness. The NBA season's in the second part of the season. So at least basketball's being played. Last year during March at this same time when the shutdown started and everything came to a halt, March Madness had just begun and suddenly games stopped. So far this year, games are playing. The basketball season's in its regular season. That's still playing. That's been a little bit different compared to previous seasons, but I'm glad that both of those are playing, and at least we haven't experienced what we experienced last March. After one day, everything just stopped. Like, I don't know if that will ever happen again in history, but that day that the sports world came to a pause, that's definitely going to be in history books because that had never happened before. And I don't know if it will again, but that definitely made history.
So, you know about my show. So, my show is about reaction, and we're talking about basketball. And today, I'm going to show you an anime based on basketball. And I want your reaction, my good friend. So, let's go to. All right. Let's see this. All right. And
Oh, there we go. I see what you said the last time we talked, how we can share the screen now and not
yeah,
what we previously had done.
exactly. And I want to show you a full movie. It's not full, it's full uh from an anime, and it's a basketball. It's called Slam Dunk. So I hope you enjoy it.
Looking forward to it.
We're gonna load down a little bit the voice. So it's subtitled, Gerardo. Just my apologies. There's no English dub.
That's okay.
Can you see it, Gerardo?
No, I just see a blank screen.
Oh, hold on one second. All right. It says, hold on. I don't know how to do it. Okay. Okay. Let's do it again. Share. Okay. Let's do it again. So now, do you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope we can go back to those days of having packed stadiums. I definitely miss.
Yeah, exactly.
It sucks so far that Ball Arena hasn't opened up to the
Uh,
Nuggets or to the
uh,
Avalanche. I'm hoping they do at some point.
exactly.
I like this basketball court that's like next to the ocean. It has a
Right.
nice view. That's nice. This kind of reminds me because I've been almost all over the country, especially particular cities, and it kind of reminds me of like being at one of those beaches that have the basketball court. You have that warm weather right next to the beach and the ocean. Makes me think, man, I'd rather be there than in this cold right now. But hopefully, at some point, we can travel down the road.
Yep.
the beginning of this was really interesting with how it started out with like that layout of the beach and showing the water and stuff, and then how it
Yeah.
just jumped from like this basketball court to the next, and then it showed like being there right next to the beach, and then now we're like in an arena.
Right. So basically, this show is not college, it's high school basketball.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that they would be high school, especially in that shot that was next to the beach with that basketball court. Hopefully, if things go as projected, that we can see something like this, especially with the arenas. Hopefully, the next basketball season, and hopefully, Ball Arena can have fans in the stands. I know it's definitely been different, only being able to watch teams on TV than actually seeing them in person. Definitely miss that, especially when the Nuggets made the playoffs last year. Hope to see if they make it this year, but really hoping they would at least open it to a few thousand fans. Definitely been different out going down there and watching them in person. This anime kind of reminds me of my past because I don't know if you knew or not, but I played basketball from a young age all the way up until the end of my high school days. And I can remember even playing basketball on the team in high school. And every day after school, I would be outside here in the neighborhood playing basketball. And it's just something that I loved and something I always wanted to do. And it was fun because you could even play basketball by yourself. One thing about basketball is it's fun to play with someone else or be on a team going against someone, but if you want something to do, all you need is like basketball, the court, and the hoop, and you can be able to play by yourself and have a good time. And that was one thing I liked about basketball. I don't play it as much as I used to, but basketball will always be one of my favorite sports, regardless if I'm playing it or watching it.
Right. But this is basically comedy. You know, the captain reminds me of you, actually, but he's more aggressive.
Yeah, in basketball, you definitely see people that have different heights, and you can't really underestimate anyone because I've seen people shorter, really good playing basketball, especially with the ball handling skills. Usually that's why they're the point guard. And even some tall people are really good as well, especially when you get into the paint and you're trying to score. And it can be hard to score against someone that's taller than you.
Right. Now look at him. He's jealous right now because of the girls right now.
Yeah, he probably definitely wants. I was pretty kids, and I remember that was just what I always wanted to do.
So I'm just gonna go through. This is romance and all that. I want, yeah. So when they're gonna start playing, let's see now. Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's go on when they start the game. And I want your reaction, Gerardo, if it's kind of like the real basketball that you see and how the fiction of anime to the reality of basketball.
All right. So far, what I see is these individuals are pretty big people, especially this one they keep showing here in the red uniform, and they're pretty good at playing basketball. I see how they play, and it looks like it's almost an even competition. I would looks like to me that this red team has the advantage, but I definitely see that both have an opportunity at winning it. Even right here, you can tell like the red team might have more of the advantage as well.
Mhm.
But this almost looks like a real live basketball game.
Mhm.
And so far, what I've seen is things that I would actually see in a typical basketball game that I usually watch on a daily basis. And I could see that this is also a competitive matchup and looks like it might go down to the end. Free throws always look like they're very easy shots, but they could be one of the hardest ones. And I know when there's pressure or you're trying to game, they can be really hard to make, regardless if you're the best shooter or the worst shooter. And those are shots you have to make. And usually, sometimes games come down to who makes more free throws. I would not want to be that coach or anyone on that sideline. I know, especially in football or even in other sports, when those athletes come at you like that, it does not feel good if you get knocked over by them. Looks like someone got brutally injured, and there's some injuries. Man, if you were to get that, it's not good because that could definitely be a long recovery. This individual looks like he's trying to impress this girl that he may possibly like in the
Right.
previous time when he was trying to talk to her. They definitely have a lot of fans that are watching this game and look really competitive as of right now. I'm shocked to see this because even in the NBA and stuff, Usually it's your own teammates that pick you up. You don't see opposing teammates doing that. Unless it's certain individuals, then you might see it.
So my question is, I'm just gonna go stop the sharing right now. So my question is, will you watch this anime?
Yes, it definitely looked interesting. One thing that surprised me was like the back and forth, and it looked like at the beginning it wasn't even going to be basketball related just because of how it started. But I liked how it was going back and forth, but it kind of was a little bit confusing at the beginning.
So you could find it on, like YouTube. This is where I found that video. This is the movie. It's an OVA. So when you hear an OVA, it's like the end of season one, and they make a movie for it. That's what they do uh, back in the '90s. So if you want to see all the seasons, so you could find it on the YouTube or any source that you could find, like an anime or whatever, and you could watch it. And it's called Slam Dunk. And basically, you saw the team, what they're wearing, the shirt, it's red. And, back in the '90s, what was the best team state that was in the '90s?
Oh, it was the Chicago Bulls, and I know I wasn't alive to watch them play, unfortunately, but I even got a Michael Jordan jersey in my closet, and I definitely like that red color. Red's one of my favorite colors, and I definitely have a nice Chicago Bulls jersey, and of course, it's Michael Jordan.
So they're basically made this anime because of when they watched Michael Jordan in real life. The director and the producer, when they're like watching, the whole live atmosphere in basketball. That's why the reason they made this anime, and it's based on Michael Jordan's, success on the Chicago Bulls, and
And it
blah blah.
almost looked like it was Chicago Bulls related just because of the red uniforms and stuff. And there was that one player that looked like he was the biggest, and you could even tell, even the rest of the players, that that team had the advantage.
They all look alike in teams, especially the team captain. I don't remember his name, but he used to play with the New York. Not, I don't know what's the team. Next, I believe, or something. Um, what's the team that New York they play before? I don't know what the team is, but it's New
I don't.
York.
There's the New York Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets.
The Knicks that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the guy that he is so aggressive. Every single time that they put him in the show, he's more of the angry kind of guy that plays. I forgot his name, but
Is
he
it
was a good.
Is it Patrick Ewing?
I think so because
I
he
know that's
was.
like the best Knicks player to play on the team.
Yeah, the movie Slam Dunk. Not the movie. Sorry, Space Jam. You know the movie Space Jam with
Yeah.
Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny. Though the alien that got his power that turned green. His name is Patrick. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has to be him.
Yeah.
That's like the best player to play for the Knicks. Big
And-
guy too.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Now that we're talking about him, let me tell you something real quick. Now that we're talking about him, CU Buffaloes in basketball made it into the NCAA tournament.
Nice.
They're going against his team, and he's the head coach. And of course, his team has the advantage, but you never know.
Mhm.
Colorado may have a chance to beat them. It's the first time these two teams have went against each other, and I think it'd be interesting to see if CU could beat his team in college basketball, especially at this tournament.
Well, let me tell you this, like not an experience, but an experience in soccer. One of the famous legend soccer player, Maradona, if you heard about him. He coached Argentine, but he's not a good coach. And I don't know why they put him as a coach. And they were losing. And Argentine are one of the like biggest players in the world of World Cup, like in soccer. If you follow soccer, Gerardo, because
I
it's
do.
yeah. So because it's next year. It's coming during I think it's in March or in May, I believe, or that, but it's going to be in the Middle East next year, where I come from. So, if you follow soccer, you would understand when somebody's being a coach. Like I know Michael Jordan is a coach and he owns a team as well.
Yeah.
And Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal, like I will tell you about Shaquille O'Neal last week. Guess what he was in? He was
What?
performing in AEW. It's an all elite wrestling show. It's like WWE. And he was wrestling with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Shaq definitely has a lot of talents, and with how big he is, I wouldn't be surprised that he can be able to participate in something like that. But I know now that his basketball career has ended, he has went many different directions, and I've seen him do many different things. That being a DJ, I've seen him pop up here at venues here in Colorado prior to COVID. He talks about basketball on a TV networks. That guy can do a lot.
And don't forget, he's in a video game and he has a video game on his name too, as well. So, like back in the 90s and during this generation as well, he's been getting into his social media stuff. He was an announcer in one of the sports. Him and Charles Barkley, I remember that was like 3 years ago. But I think he left because of some comments that came up. Is that right, or
I
correct me?
I
Yeah.
think so, but I'm not 100% sure. But I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's what I'm like thinking. What happened, with like, yeah, because Shaq, when he came to, I mean, he'd been to wrestling shows before. And 2011 or 10, he came to WWE and wrestled the Big Show. And now, Paul White. And it's kind of weird that you see like a gigantic man like him has the strength, like, to like pick a wrestler or something, like.
Oh, I know, and he could probably land up going against anyone, and I don't even think anyone has a chance against him.
Right.
But
Right.
one thing that's real funny too is I've seen previous people that he's been in a relationship, and I remember seeing this picture online of how tall he is compared to the woman he was with, and there's a big difference. They're a very tall, big guy, and he definitely has a lot on his resume, and there's a lot that he's capable of, even after his basketball career, because of who he is and even his body size too. He's can like almost do anything, and I'm not surprised that he's doing what he's doing.
Nice. Well, I'll just we're just gonna keep it a little bit short. So, any things that's gonna come in the future in your production or in your social media and stuff?
I do have something. You're gonna have to wait and see what it is. All I can tell you is it will be announced at the end of the month, and you'll probably know about it as long as you see it on social media. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to finishing up this spring semester, being done with college later on this year, and graduating and moving on to the next chapter of my life. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what 2021 has to offer. It may still be different just because the pandemic may still be around. Hopefully, it comes to an end later this year. The way everyone's planning out, it looks like it might come to an end towards the end of summer or early fall. And if not, hopefully 2022 is a better year, but I think 2021 will be better than 2020. Right now, it's spring training in Major League Baseball, and just in a few weeks, actually, in just like 2 weeks, April 1st is opening day. The Rockies season starts, the rest of Major League Baseball starts, and I'm definitely looking forward to going to Coors Field and finally being able to watch some Rockies games in person. They're going to let a few thousand people in. That's going to be different, of course. But the last time I went to Coors Field was a week before my 21st birthday, and that was back in 2019. So it's been a while since I've been there. Definitely going to go to the first game and continue going to games. But that's the one thing that I'm looking forward to besides what's going to happen in the next 2 months.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. So give me a promise to be back in my show on April, because I will show you an anime based on what is going on in the season of our sports. And
Got to do a baseball one for sure.
right, and it's going to be baseball as well. So, it's going to be quite a while, I understand, but hopefully we'll make you come back to our show. I mean, you're always welcome to my show, no matter what. Everybody's welcome. Yeah.
I'll definitely come back in April and do what we're going to do between now and the end of the semester. And I'm just glad that there's going to be a baseball season and it's going to be a full season like it should be. And that's something I'm looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Well, anyway, guys, this is my show, Ahmed's Entertainment, and my guest, Gerardo Cruz. Please follow him. And if you want to follow, of course, follow me too. And I have YouTube, my name, Ahmed Ojan, and Twitter, and Instagram, and Facebook as well. So, guys, thank you, Gerardo, so much for being my show. Have a fabulous day, and we'll see you on April.
All right. See you then. Thank you.
You're welcome.